Hey everyone, I'm Eric North and I'm the Happiness Warrior. Now today I want to talk about another self-defeating thing that we all do and that we're all guilty of and that we kind of enjoy too. This is something that feels good. It's a cheap high and afterwards you don't feel so good, and that is the need for validation. Validation is like different. It's a different self-defeating feeling than jealousy or guilt or envy or anything like that. This is something that is based entirely on external forces. So we need external forces and external sources to provide us input into how we should live our lives, how we should act, how we should talk, how we should think, how we should move forward in life. And that is wrong. So, when I was a kid, I was kind of insecure and I didn't really get what I needed in my family or my home as much. So I looked for validation outside sources. So I was too smart for my own good. I was always trying to be number one at everything. I always wanted everybody to praise me for being too smart or too fast or too good at something. And what it did was it made me extremely insecure. It made me extremely hard for me to sort of move forward in my life. And it made me took me as far away from my authentic self as it could possibly have been. So I struggled with that for many years. I had some bad relationships. I did things that weren't good for myself. And it was all based on that need for validation that started when I was young. And it was just so solidly ingrained in my psyche that I had a really hard time breaking out of it. And in a lot of ways, I think it took me to almost rock bottom in my life. And it's not the reason, but it's sort of the catalyst to going to a really low point in my life where I had to rebuild myself again. And when I realized, as I was rebuilding myself, is that all these sources of validation were I was living someone else's life when I wasn't living my own life. So when you think about, okay, validation, it feels really good. I want to be validated. There are times when we should be validated, or I say vindicated, because we were right about something. And that's a really good way to be validated. But when we're validated on how we look, is our food good, is this good, am I doing something, do I need praise for everything that I do? And I have a brother-in-law like that. He just pushes people away because every single thing that he provides or does, he needs to have somebody approve of it for him. And he's stuck by that need for approval, and it makes him unhappy, it alienates him, and it makes him disconnected from other people. And he can't see that. But once you're able to just take a second, think about that, and think about when you're getting to a situation where you might be looking for validation, ask yourself, why do I need that validation? And that can be a really honest and eye-opening thought, because chances are you don't really need that validation. You knew how to do the right thing. You knew the right path. You knew the right way. It's part of us. It's our intuition, our intention that takes us away from the need for validation. So when we're authentic with ourselves, we need less validation. And at that point, we're actually a lot more attractive to most people too. So I think that's the law of attraction. Make yourself more attractive and good things will come to you. If you need validation, if you need constant praise, if it's like a high to you, then we should think about it's time to stop that high. Go cold turkey, cut it off, start making a better life for yourself, and you'll be a lot happier. And that's really what this is all about. Validation makes us unhappy. Okay, it makes us happy for a second, but later on it's kind of it's a false sense of security that keeps us down and stops us from rising up. So anyway, stop getting validated. Validate yourself. That's all you have to. Only one you have to be accountable for is you, and that's really important to know too. So anyway, thanks for listening. I'll talk to you next week.